So, you think we're listenable? Pod life. This is basic podonomics. This is basic podonomics, pod life. We're listenable. I'm forcing you to hear me, pod life. This is basic basic podonomics, pod life. We're listenable. I'm forcing you to hear me. I hope you enjoyed that terrible rendition of John Thena's thugonomics. But what's up, sharpshooters, and welcome to the Holy Shoot podcast, a podcast that is all about the world of professional wrestling. Coming up on today's episode, we'll be reviewing Elimination Chamber 2019 from Captain Planet saving the World Wrestling Entertainment Championship for himself to a New Day for New Day member Kofi Kingston. Speaking of New Days, Sasha Banks and Bayley bossed their way to becoming women's tag team champions, and also the Usos lock up their umpteenth tag titles, whilst Lashley commits what Elias would call an act of child abuse on Leo Rush after losing his Intercontinental Championship. This and much more later in the show. But first, I must introduce my cohorts, or should I politely say my co-hosts. Joining me today are Jason and Chen, and I am your host Broderick, or more commonly known as Brod round these parts. What's up, guys?
Good day, one and all. It is I, Jason. I'm good.
And
hey guys, it's Chen. I'm happy to be here again, ready to review Elimination Chamber.
You sound very enthusiastic, Chen.
Well, I have better things to do, like Kingdom Hearts to play. So can we get this going, please?
Fucking douche. I mean, wow. I mean, okay, we could publicly fire you right now. Shall we fire him, Jason? Shall we just fire him for the rest of the pod?
Let's wait, because we need to...
What did I do? Wait, this is like when Corey Graves told his ex-wife, don't tweet, WWE will sue you. Or what grounds can you find?
We need to hold on to Chen for this show, because we've got some fun coming up with two of his favourites in the pay-per-view review, so we definitely need him for that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Chen, you survived this week. Chen, you survived.
So, I am good, though. A good weekend of wrestling fun for me. I was at the high-stakes show, the Rev Pro show on Friday with Ospreay versus Pac.
Right.
I checked. I'll send you guys some photos. The group of the WWL guys that attended are all over it when there's a big fight in the crowd when the guys come out to where we were standing. So we're all over the Rev Pro pay-per-view, like about an hour or so into it. So that was funny to see. And then the big meet up for the Elimination Chamber was fun. We had like 30 people watching that together. So been a good wrestling weekend.
Very good wrestling weekend indeed. I am pretty envious that you got to see Will Ospreay versus Pac up close and personal.
It was a fun show. I fought Will Ospreay in the dark match because I had to defend my belt against him that I won at the last show. We had that match.
Yeah,
I won.
Yeah, the Never Openweight Championship is definitely on you.
Yeah. It wasn't taped to cameras, of course, so it'd be hard to find documented proof. But I beat him with a shooting star press.
Yeah, I thought your finisher was a 450, but never mind.
I mix it up sometimes,
Anyway, that was what we call the general banter segment on our script notes. A little behind the scenes action there for you, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, before we preview the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, Jason, myself, and Chen, unfortunately, we'll be talking about some of the major talking points in this week's news. So, the news. Let's start with WWE's Hall of Fame, as D-Generation X are the first to be announced to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Triple H made the announcement on Monday Night Raw, stating he, Shawn Michaels, X-Pac, Billy Gunn, Road Dogg Jesse James, and most surprisingly of all, China will be inducted as a group. First of all, this is great as China gets in, and this has been a personal bugbear of mine, calling back to one of the early Ring of Dishonors we did. But what I want to know, gentlemen, is your thoughts on this announcement.
I see this being the headline act, unless they come up with something really big. I'd still like to see China go in on her own rather than as a group, but still great that this is a chance for her to be in there.
Yeah.
I don't think she'll ever go in solo, and this is just a way to. She deserves to be in there. Don't get
Yep.
me wrong, but I still remember what Triple H said on the Austin podcast about China being inducted to the Hall of Fame, and when they do the Hall of Fame, I think they'll just briefly go over China's career, just briefly, but they'll talk about the other members mostly.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine it now, Triple H going, well, you know, I'm Triple H, and I was the one who helped create D-Generation X, with only Shawn Michaels, not China, Anyway, let's talk about the other 5 members, but mostly about Triple H, Sorry, I just really wanted to do that.
The
And
interesting
that's
one
the
is
thing.
Billy
Do you
Gunn.
think?
Will Billy Gunn be there?
Yeah,
I think he'll be there. Even
That's
though
a
he's
good
signed
point.
with AEW, he'll be there. He's not
Yeah.
like a competing wrestler.
Yeah, he's not. He's a backstage producer, so I'd imagine he'll be able to be there, and they're not going to be like dicks about it. So
It depends what Vince wants at the end of the day. I know, like, Triple H and kind of looks after the Hall of Fame these days, judging by the way he got like the likes of Bruno Sammartino inducted and everything. But it wouldn't surprise me if Vince
And
goes, "Oh God damn it! I don't want that Billy Gunn in my organization."
at the end of the day, Billy Gunn got fired. He was part of the NXT coaching staff and he got fired. So he needs a job. Everyone needs to work.
Yeah,
And it's not like they were offering him a job to come back, were they? And he
no,
turned them down.
not what I know.
no, I don't know either. Oh well, but
But
yeah,
is this the headline act, or do you reckon there's something bigger?
I mean, the only other rumor I've heard is the Heart Foundation, so I think they might have wanted something bigger. I think they might have wanted a Rock or Undertaker, but who knows what's happening with that. So I suspect that this is the headline, and usually the
Jason,
first act announced is the headline.
Jason, use your head. Do you really think Triple H is going to let someone else overshadow him on any
Well,
stage?
I just wonder,
Okay.
like, unless it
Triple
was
H
someone
is
like you
the main
say,
event.
I'd imagine this means it's not going to be like The Rock or Taker or anyone else.
No.
This is like, and
Do
also
you
this
think
is.
Triple H will allow that?
It's also it's good to have a fun headline, and these guys can talk for a bit. It'll be like, I'm sure there'll be some good jokes and stories told. So it seems like a good choice.
Yeah.
I'm still not going to it no matter what.
No,
I'm not going to stand and sit through that.
I rather just get drunk on a curb somewhere in Brooklyn
Also,
rather.
do you think they'll both talk about Triple H and Shawn Michaels when they reformed in like 2005, 2006, or whenever it was?
2006.
Just
Yeah,
them two.
yeah, I think they will. I mean, it's Triple H. It's gonna go on for half an hour. Like he's gonna cut a long promo, Evolution style. Triple H.
Rod, I'm already bored of your impressions.
Wow. I don't see you bringing anything to the table, Jason.
Yeah, I prefer not to do terrible impressions on the pod.
Well, I want to,
Alright.
so I don't care.
Let's just move on then.
Me and Jason are gonna have a fight after this. Anyway, in the very same promo, Triple H made an announcement calling up 4 NXT superstars to Raw this week. NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa, NXT North American champion Johnny Gargano, as well as Aleister Black and Ricochet, all appeared on the red brand, with Black beating Elias. Ricochet winning a tag match alongside Finn Balor, and the reunion of DIY. And all I got to say is DIY. Are these guys permanent, floating between both brands, or is this a one-off? And also, if you've had the opportunity to watch this, what did you guys think of the call-up?
Shen, you go first.
So, I saw all the matches. I was really impressed with I really enjoyed the Ricochet match. The DIY match, obviously, I enjoyed as well. The Aleister Black match, I kind of found boring. I think in my head, I expected it to be a squash match, but I think that was like the least entertaining for me. Yeah, Ricochet, he was the most impressive in his debut. As for, is this permanent? I don't know, because I just think they're bringing these guys up because a lot of people's contracts are running out in May, and they just want to establish as many stars as possible, because I expect these guys to get called up in April after Mania anyway. But it makes me question, why aren't they just pushing EC3 and Lars and everyone else? They did promo packages since January. Why aren't they pushing them down our throat?
With the exception of Lars due to personal issues that he has at the moment.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. I just don't. Words fail me on this call up. It was random. It was apparently this show was written together in the last minute. They wanted to think outside the box and they delivered this. This is a bad surprise. This ruins current NXT storylines. DIY Gargano seemed reluctant to reunite with Tommaso Ciampa, and they just seemed like, oh yeah, we're pretty happy to unite and do this for NXT. What?
So in NXT, are they still someone who only choosing for Takeover? Are them two still fighting against each other, or are they just kept apart?
Not really. They're kind of teasing the reunion. That's the thing. They're teasing it, but it's a slow build because it's NXT. And yeah,
so it's just a one-off. Yeah.
I don't know.
I just wish these one-offs would happen on SmackDown.
I mean, it is interesting that NXT has tapings on Wednesday, so who knows? They could actually just say, well, all four of them were called up to the main roster, but rubbish debut for DIY.
That's not happening.
Ricochet impressed. Aleister Black. Why did Elias get so much offense?
Yeah, that's why I was surprised.
And putting him up against Elias is not a great way to showcase someone new. I thought this call up was bad. Really, really bad. BAD. Bad.
So, to be clear, this is not a call up. This is a special, just one off. These guys are not coming up. They're not. I would bet anything you want. These four are not all coming up to the main roster right now. You don't take your two champs and just move them.
Kevin Owens was NXT champion when he got called up to the main roster. Sasha Banks was NXT Women's champion when she was called up to the main roster. It can happen, and we'll get on to the next bit of news as well, which also features movement towards NXT from main roster. So it can happen, and also I'm not sure if any of you guys seen this yet, but before every Raw and SmackDown, Kathy Kelly does a hit on the YouTube channel WWE Now, and it's basically 5 things to watch out for SmackDown, and one of the things was possible NXT talent going to SmackDown as well. But all I could think about is, if you're going to call up 4 guys, why can't it just be the Undisputed Era? Call them up like Nexus style and just put some energy into Raw. There was no energy in all these call-ups. It was a fucking generic promo to begin with, and then they just have boring ass match after boring ass match after boring ass match.
You think Ricochet had a
I disagree. I found the Ricochet match very good.
No.
The DIY match.
No,
the DIY match shouldn't have happened, because I was like, the Revival just won the tag team titles and then they lose straight away. They shouldn't have booked that match in the first place.
So to clarify, DIY versus Revival was fine. I should have said boring, but it was fine. It was nothing special, and they shouldn't have reunited DIY for a fucking throwaway episode of Raw. This is exceptionally bad booking, and bad booking for the Revival after winning the Raw Tag titles. Ricochet is already put into some mediocre feud between Finn Balor and Bobby Lashley that I do not give a crap about, and I don't think many fans give a crap about. And Ricochet pinned Leo Rush, not Bobby Lashley, which basically screams to me, oh, Finn Balor's only good enough to pin Leo Rush, Ricochet's only good enough to pin Leo Rush. They're only good enough to beat a manager, not actually to beat someone legit like Bobby Lashley.
Hey, Leo Rush was impressive.
Beef, fucking hell. They couldn't have fucked this up more if they tried, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Ricochet actually was in a really entertaining match, and I don't have any issue with them pinning Leo Rush.
It's a boring tag match.
Just to confirm, Rod, you were complaining everything was boring ass, but you've just now conceded the tag match for the Revival DIY was okay.
Fine.
And surely we're agreeing that the Ricochet Finn Balor tag match was good as well.
It's just pointless booking. You call someone up to rejuvenate a failing brand. You call someone up because they deserve it. It's one of those two things. They deserve it, but Raw needs rejuvenating. They need interesting storylines, and they just get put in. No storyline, no effort, last minute writing, creatively inept. I'm not blaming these 4 guys, by the way. I'm not blaming these 4 guys at all. But when you have, especially with Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, 2.5 years of storytelling thrown away for a lousy reunion on Raw, and it was lousy for their standards. 2 of the very best in WWE, 2 of the very best in professional wrestling. I can't believe I'm that angry about it, but I am. Rubbish. Rubbish. Rubbish.
I think you're just getting too worked up about a one-off event.
It's just an exhibition match, I believe.
That makes it even worse if it's an exhibition. Because it's not actually anything then. You just said, right, we're going to reunite these guys for one-off episode, and that's it. Let's not do anything after that. Bollocks.
So, when I was watching the Ricochet match, I was thinking all the members, apart from Lashley, came from NXT. And I was like, that should have been Apollo Crews in there. Just a very athletic version of Bobby Lashley. But Bobby Lashley has more of a character than, obviously, Apollo Crews. Also, that Raw crowd was awful. They just didn't even seem to know who these NXT superstars were.
Oh, that crowd was the definition of dead. I think the only thing they chanted for was Becky, and she wasn't even on Raw, so, make of that what you will. But yeah, I could agree the crowd sucked. They should never go back to Lafayette, Louisiana. Punish them forever. Okay, on to a lighter note, because I don't want to take up too much time. Too late, but anyway, on Raw we saw the announcement that the women's tag team championships would be cross-promotional, but not just Raw and SmackDown, but NXT too. Sasha Banks and Bayley on NXT. Are you excited?
If they take on the Sky Pirates, hell yeah.
It will happen. Chen?
I'm happy, but at the same time, I just think, in a way, they're just going backwards to NXT. Like, I'd rather see them in main eventing, pay-per-views and stuff. Like, we always say if NXT superstars get called up and not being used, send them back to NXT. But I don't want that to be with Sasha and Bayley. I'd rather stay on the main roster.
They don't have enough talent across 2 divisions to really justify a tag division, in my opinion.
And that's why I say they should make a women's show. They should make a women's show dedicated to women.
Tag titles, in my opinion, are an excuse for them to write easier storylines because they can't be bothered. They use titles to write lazy storylines, and they're like, right, we have 2 women feuding on Raw, we have 2 women feuding on SmackDown, we don't know what to do with the rest. I don't know, create tag titles. I'm not against the tag titles. It's just there's not enough talent across both shows for it at the moment, in my opinion. So, but yeah. Anyway, I think that'll wrap up the news. Join us after the break for our Elimination Chamber review.
This podcast is affiliated with the WWL Meetup Group. WWL, or Watch Wrestling London, get together with many fans to watch pay-per-view replays on Monday nights and attend live events across London, be it WWE, Progress, Rev Pro, Eve, and many more. It's a great way to watch wrestling with friendly people and all are welcome to join. You can find out more at watchwrestling.london or just Google Watch Wrestling London and you'll find the meetup page.
Elimination Chamber 2019 has now been and gone and was a more momentous show than I possibly thought. Without going into too much detail, what were your overall thoughts on the show, gentlemen?
So I enjoyed this show quite a lot. It was really enjoyable, and what stood out for me is that I normally love the Royal Rumble, but that show dragged for me. It was quite a long show. It felt like a bit of a slog, whereas this was just over 3 hours, the way shows meant to be. and it meant it just sort of went along really quick, zipped along, had a couple of really good matches on it. So yeah, I'm up on this show.
Chen?
So normally with gimmick pay-per-views, I don't give a crap, but I always look forward to the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. And yeah, this year did not disappoint for me.
I thought it was fine. That's all I have to say. So, like our previous pay-per-view reviews, we'll go match by match and break down the action before giving our final thoughts, grades, etc. So, starting with the pre-show, we saw Buddy Murphy beat Akira Tozawa to retain the Cruiserweight Championship. Did you guys catch this? I know you were busy over the weekend, so I'm not sure if you had the opportunity to watch. Chen?
No, and I had time to watch it. I just didn't want to. My spare time went to Kingdom Hearts.
Jason?
Yeah, I'm afraid I was busy with work and also setting up and running the WWL meetup for the event, so there was no time for the pre-show for me.
So you had a valid excuse, unlike Chen.
Hey,
Pretty much.
if it's not good enough to be on the main show in Vince's eyes, why should I give a shit?
Why should you give a shit about wrestling in general then?
Uh,
I mean, hypothetical question, you know.
It's a shame,
I
right?
like New Japan. Oh no, I don't give a shit because Vince McMahon doesn't like it. Oh, I really want to see what this AEW. No, actually, Vince McMahon's not involved. I don't give a shit. Anyway, I thought this was arguably match of the night. I thought this was a really, really good match. These guys deserve to be on the main card over some of the crap that we saw later on. One of my favourite spots of the night came from this match where Akira Tozawa did a suicide dive only to be caught by Buddy Murphy and then hit a suplex without Akira's feet touching the ground. I hasten to add that was impressive.
That sounds cool. I do want to watch this match. I'm probably going to go back and watch it, and I agree. I'd rather seen this on the main card than like Corbin and Braun, but we'll get to that.
It was a 15-minute typical Buddy Murphy 4-star match. Can't complain. Yeah, both men were tremendous. Murphy hits the Murphy's Law. 1, 2, 3, it's over. But yeah, there's some fantastic spots in this match. Akira Tozawa was selling really well as well, which I didn't expect from him. I didn't think he would be much of a seller, but yeah, this is really, really good wrestling. I recommend checking it out. And also, we saw a promo from Kevin Owens on the pre-show. Not that you guys watched it. And he doesn't like pineapple on pizza, even though it's a Canadian tradition. So, guys, most serious question of the evening. What's your take on pineapple on pizza?
It shouldn't work, and I never thought I'd like it, but it kind of works when you have it on there with ham.
Chen, pineapple?
That's my number one topping on a pizza.
Your number one topping?
It's pineapple on pizza. That's when I order a pizza, the first topping I say is pineapple.
I wouldn't go as far as to say it's number one on my agenda, but I can't believe we're unanimous here. I'm also a fan of the pineapple on the pizza. I guess Kevin Owens is a heel in our eyes. Wow. I was hoping for some pineapple on pizza debate and I didn't get it.
I'm surprised. I always get hate. I always get hate for having pineapple on my pizza.
Nah, you get nothing, but you've made up for the fact you didn't watch the Buddy Murphy match. So congrats, Chen.
I never order a pizza with pineapple on, but you know, if it's a case of we've got pizza laid on and one of them happens to be the Hawaiian pizza, I'll eat it.
Yeah, pizza's pizza. I fucking love it. Full stop. So yeah, I agree with you guys. Pineapple on pizza is okay. So moving on to the main show, and finally you guys can contribute. The Boss and Hug Connection last eliminated Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville inside the Elimination Chamber to become the first women's tag team champions. Well, the first in 30 years. Quick breakdown of things, just for you guys listening if you haven't seen it. Carmella and Naomi were eliminated first. I wonder why. And then the Iconics and Riot Squad were taken out by Nia and Tamina, only for Tamina to get pinned by 4 other women. And then, of course, we saw Sonya Deville tap out to Sasha Banks' modified bank statement. Question. I think we're going to agree this match was good. But how good was this match is a question I'm asking.
So, for me, I've got my notes on this, and I don't know if it's 4 stars, but it's definitely nudging 4 stars. I think it was a really good match.
Okay. Chen?
I'll give it 4 stars. I was entertained from start to finish.
I have to give it 3. I thought it was a good match, but only when the women started hitting all the finishes. I think the moment that really tipped it from this is quite boring to this is getting good was when Sonya Deville hit that spear for the first time. That was an amazing spear.
Sonya Deville was my MVP of the match.
I've got to
of that
agree.
match.
Sonya surprised me. I thought, coming in, I thought Sonya's full of potential. She's still got a lot to learn, but she's quickly proven herself, in my opinion, to be a future women's champion without a doubt. Whether that be singles competition or tag teams competition. I thought just a few other spots I liked. The double dive pod from the Riot Squad. Did not expect that from them. Did not expect to take that risk. I really like that. Yeah, I really like the callback to the Sasha Banks Bailey on top of a pod, remarking how Sasha betrayed Bailey and highlighting that journey to becoming a tag team. I thought that was actually really well done. I thought the Nia spot, even though you could clearly tell Bailey was moving out of the way, I loved that spot when she went through the glass. I think everyone did at that meetup we went to. So yeah, I think those are a few of my highlights. It was a poor first half.
See,
it's a very good second half.
I mean, I enjoyed the whole match. I thought it was non-stop action. I don't think the first half was poor at all. I think it was interesting to, watch. I was surprised we had to wait 17 minutes for the first pinfall. Like, they kept the action going, and so maybe that's why you're saying it was a bit slow because there was no pinfalls for that long time.
No, I don't mind the first pinfall taking 17 minutes. That's not my issue. I just thought it was very, especially with Bailey and Sasha, like, to begin with, I just thought it was lumbering. They didn't find their feet early on. And yeah, I think business only picked up when the Iconics got involved, which is surprising because I don't think they're good wrestlers at all. But
I thought they were great in that match.
it was their best shown on the main roster by far.
It's not their wrestling ability; it's their character.
Yeah, for me, they were a highlight of this match, the Iconics. I really enjoyed their work in this match. Everything they did, from getting in the chamber, the backing off and locking themselves back in when Nia Jax and Tamina came after them. That great pin they did, the first pin they got on, was it Naomi when they rolled her up together? They were just really fun. They were like what made this. Probably summed up this match for me. They were just fun.
I really did like the pinfall that they had. I think that's my favorite Iconic move I've ever seen from them. That's how poor I think they are in the ring. Don't get me wrong, I think they're very entertaining characters. I just don't think they're good enough to be on the main roster.
No,
but that's a conversation for another time. We're talking about the chamber.
Yeah, there was a couple of sloppy moments in the chamber. That's why I'm saying like it might just be 4 stars. There was a few people got kicked or caught a bit awkwardly. Lots of people seemed to be grabbing their mouths. It got a little bit clumsy at times, and those two were slightly clumsy as well. But I think overall they still put off some good moves. I really enjoyed everything going on here, and Iconic for me was like just really cool to watch them. Like everything they did was entertaining.
And obviously, I like the destruction that Nia caused in that chamber match. Anything Nia does is amazing. She was built for this type of match.
They booked this match really well. I'd like to know who worked on the layout of this match because it didn't go as you expected. I thought, okay, at this point, 17 minutes in or so, okay, they're filling the ring up so that Jax can come in and kill everyone. And then, because I thought that was happening, I was surprised when the pinfall happened, but right soon after that. It was fun. I don't know if you noticed. They play fast and loose at the times. I timed a couple of the entrance gaps. I think the first couple were about 3.5, 4 minute gaps, so not 5 minutes. And then it was about 10 minutes in between entrances, and when we were waiting for Nia Jax and Tamina to come in, because they were just doing all the spots they had planned in, it seemed. So a couple of funny things there. But the actual overall booking and like the way they got the different teams in and planned it out, and everyone then turning on like Jax and Tamina, And like Brod, as you said, I love the little reference to Sasha Banks and Bailey and last year's chamber. They lingered on that a bit, and the crowd got it, but they were hinting at that and how now they were working together. There's all the little things that worked well.
So, based on your argument about what works really well in this match, I'm going to bump my star rating for this match up to 3.25.
Well, We could argue ages and try and find all the other little points, but
Look,
accept
look,
that.
3.25 is still
Yeah.
very good.
Still good.
Like people think, oh, that's shit. No, 5 stars. You know,
Yeah.
5 star in my opinion is Omega versus Okada, CM Punk versus John Cena. Those are 5-star matches. I don't
Fair
believe in anything above 5 star.
Yeah, fair point. Did you like the ending with the use of the leg rather than the arm because of Sasha Banks being injured? That was quite clever.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
I
was
thought that was good. I thought that was good. Yeah. So, from one tag team match to another, in what could have been the shock of the night, the Usos defeated Shane McMahon and The Miz to once again become the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Are Team Daddy Issues, as I like to call them, going to split this week on SmackDown?
I don't think so yet. I mean, I don't want them to. I'm really enjoying Miz as a babyface. Everything he's doing, though, congratulating the girls for winning the belts. His wife comes out and announces he's having another kid. I think we were joking. I want Shane O'Mac to go heel and turn out that he's the father of the baby.
I said it
instead.
first. I
think we both had the same idea. I think at the same time, it's like
to be honest, we all, like, loads of people on the internet had the same idea. I mean, I don't think we invented it.
yeah, I think. I was surprised they've taken. There's a short title reign, wasn't it? They've only held them since, was it Rumble? So it's not
Yep.
long at all. But they've
It's
had
1 month. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were going to hold off on this until Fastlane. So
I'm surprised they rewarded Jimmy Uso for his bad behaviour.
Yeah, I think they. No, I'm sure they're not too worried about what he's done there.
Yeah, but if you think about it, Naomi's the one who got punished in the chamber. She got eliminated first, so...
Oh, the guy gets arrested. Gets arrested. We must punish the woman. Man logic.
I think she was the one who the police stopped her originally, right? It was just...
Yeah, but she wasn't arrested. She was just getting questioned. There's a difference.
Back to the match.
Yeah.
I really like the match as well. But did you like at the end again after obviously they've lost? They lingered again on Miz and Shane for a while with like Miz helping Shane up, then walking to the back with his arm around him. Yep. You were waiting for, is he gonna do something? And they didn't do it, but they played with it, which again I appreciate.
Yeah. I thought they were going to do like the Gargano Ciampa spot.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Ago, and I was just like, oh, please don't cheapen that moment. Please don't. So when it just faded to black, I was like, that's good. Save it for another time. But
did you like Miz being a babyface? He's doing all the little things. Like, you see, when he jumped into the ring, he springboarded off the top rope and hit a move, and he stood there like, wait, wow, what am I doing? That's not what I do.
Yeah, I'm. So to the match itself and the Miz's face turn. Yeah, I really enjoyed the Miz's face turn. I think he's really entertaining. I've actually enjoyed the Miz and Shane McMahon stuff, and I've enjoyed, well, what is their second match as a tag team as well. I thought this was a fun match. It is what it is. It's not going to be anything more than a 2.5 star, 3-star match. We kind of knew that, but yeah, I really liked the coast to coast spot where Uso kicked Shane McMahon in the face. I liked the table spot where Shane McMahon dived onto, I think it was Jey Uso. I thought, all of it was, I thought it was a good match.
I don't want Miz to turn now. I want him to stay face and fight Daniel Bryan at Mania.
I don't think he will. I think Shane will turn. I think it'd be foolish to turn Miz heel. Miz gets loud reactions regardless, but I think he's capable of being a natural face now.
It's funny because obviously it leans into the TV show and a few other things they've got going on.
He has to be a face because he's a goofy guy in real life. In a good way. I don't mean that in a bad way. But yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the match. I think it's only 2.5, 3 stars, but nothing wrong with that. It was just doing its spot on the card and it was fun.
Yep, it was fun.
Chen, what's your star rating?
So I can't really comment because I was watching the football game during that match. I was in and out, so...
Chen's a Manchester United fan. Boo him.
Okay.
We'll move on.
But I saw everything else.
Okay, right. No one cares about Man United, Chen. So from fun to Finn. Finn Balor defeated Lio Rush and Bobby Lashley to become the new Intercontinental Champion. I finally spat that out. Finn pinned Rush in the match, so Beefy Lashley got angry. Beefy smashed his sidekick to oblivion. Is this the beginning of the end of the team of Lashley and Lio?
If you've seen Raw, it looks like no.
Yeah.
It's a bit odd, like what they've done
It
there.
kind of reminds me of like an uncharismatic EC3 and Rockstar Spud from Impact, where
God, I remember that. God, that was a while ago.
You know
Yeah.
what this reminds me of?
what?
Recently, Jinder and his Singh brothers, when Jinder would abuse the Singh brothers or throw them into like to the opponents and stuff. That's just
Yeah,
what this reminds me of.
yeah, but the difference between Jinder and Lashley is Jinder is a Maharaja. Lashley is only almighty and just shows his ass. Bobby Ashley.
Well,
Yeah.
I
As
was
for the
happy.
match itself, I really enjoyed it. I'm really glad Leo Rush is doing more and more wrestling on the main roster. So
Yeah, yeah. I can't remember much of this match, to be honest. I thought it was bland.
I enjoyed it. It was 10 minutes. I'm a big Finn Balor fan, so to have him winning the belt means I'm happy. He managed to hit all his signature spots. They booked it out the way they should have done. I mean, it's a little predictable with Bobby beating Finn up and then Finn isolating Leo and being able to get some damage done on him. But again, another short reign. When did Bobby win the belt? It's not been that long, right?
Before the Royal Rumble. It was
yeah,
between TLC and Royal Rumble. I think
Yeah,
it was
so
like early January. Pinned Dean Ambrose.
and
another short reign.
I'm glad that Bobby Lashley is still technically undefeated for a while now. Even though he lost the belt, he didn't get pinned.
I think I've already said my bit on Leo and Lashley somewhere in that rant in the news segment, but I think Finn pinning Leo just makes him look weak.
When you guys go WrestleMania, can you get me Bobby Lashley's autograph if you can, please?
No, I'm not. I'm not queuing to meet Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pay me to spend my time queuing to meet
Yeah,
Bobby Lashley.
like, yeah, I would want you to pay me 800 quid, so I can then potentially meet Becky Lynch with a VIP ticket bought second hand, and then I might consider getting Lashley's signature. Might. Yeah, I'm not keen for Bobby Lashley. Nothing personal against Bobby Lashley. I kind of wanted him to have a good IC title run, but yeah, I kind of like the decision to put the belt on Balor, put it on a workhorse, and hopefully make the Intercontinental Championship relevant again, considering that the Universal Championship is never to be seen.
Yeah,
So-
I think Finn's a great IC champion. He could be like really iconic doing this for a year. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. So after that, in a match that was more Mania angle than match, Ronda dispatched of Ruby Riott in exactly 100 seconds. After that, Charlotte and Becky get in the ring, and then Becky lays a beating on Charlotte with a crutch, and then on Ronda with a crutch. I'm going to be honest, I don't know how I feel about this segment. I'm going to let you guys talk first whilst I collect my opinion.
You can't really rate the match. I think it was good that they got the chance to redo it on Raw, and Ruby got to do a better showing. So you knew that she could have been having that kind of match on the pay per view. It would have been better, but oh well. So you have to ignore the match. Post match, I think we have to accept we're getting a triple threat at Mania now, which I'm still not sure if I'm happy or sad about because it's going to be a really good match. I thought it was funny that Becky stopped selling her limp during the beatdown. She was really beating them up with the crutch, but she wasn't really doing the limp or anything. But I also enjoyed Ronda when she just stood back and shrugged her shoulders, like, yeah, okay, you beat her up, before Becky then went for her as well. I kind of enjoyed it. It's a bit Stone Cold-esque with her being dragged away by security. I think it's just moving things along.
If Stone Cold is a New Hope, then Becky Lynch is a Force Awakens. Mic drop.
Yeah, I'm not a Star Wars nerd, so I'm not completely clear on that.
Basically, it's a copy and paste.
Okay.
Are you a Star Trek fan? If so, get out.
I'm more of a Star Trek fan than a Star Wars fan.
Boo. The Force is not strong with that one.
The new series is really good. Discovery.
Don't care.
Yeah, I was obviously, I was telling you, Jason, yesterday that on the road to WrestleMania, I don't expect the main titles to swap hands. So we knew what the result was going to be for this match, but for the match itself to be so short, I was disappointed because I love Ruby Riott. I thought she should have still had a some time to shine on this pay-per-view, but it was just a squash match. As for the beating itself, I loved it. I just so loved it. I loved the brutality. I loved the violence. Um, also, I loved Ronda Rousey's outfit, dressing as Sonya from Mortal Kombat.
So she's
And
voicing her in the new game. I think that's what it's tied into.
yeah, but even at the end, when you see Ronda's face at the end and she's bleeding on the side of her head, and like you said, seeing Becky being dragged by the security guard is very. It just reminded me of Stone Cold. It was so badass.
So, Rod, you've had our thoughts. Have you composed yourself?
So, yeah, liked Becky's Kill Bill get up. I thought that was quite.
I didn't realize that's what it was. I didn't click that. That's right.
No, it's like inverse Kill Bill. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but I quite liked it. But I think if it weren't for the fact that her getting dragged away like Stone Cold and there's all these Stone Cold comparisons, I think I would care about this segment a bit more. It was fine. I'd rather just have a match with Ruby Riott and Ronda Rousey, and then like they had on Raw. I kind of didn't really want to see Becky on the show. I kind of really want them to play up on the suspension angle a bit more. I mean, I'll be fine with it in hindsight if they book Becky versus Charlotte Fastlane offer the beatdown on Sunday in some sort of unsanctioned match. I think that would be pretty cool, and therefore I'd be more fine with it. But I just don't care for the fact that the McMahons are involved. I'm annoyed by the fact that there's these free Becky signs that have just been printed to manufacture a pop that doesn't need to be manufactured, fandom that doesn't need to be manufactured. It's so dumb. And for me, WWE are starting to kill the interest of Becky Lynch for me. And this is just one segment where I think a month or two ago I'd be like, hell yeah. Now I'm just like, yeah.
Just two things I wanted to say. So with the beating that Becky gave to Ronda and Charlotte, the only reason I was less impressed than I normally would have been was because it's been done by Asuka with the kendo sticks on SmackDown when she was beating Charlotte and Becky.
Point.
I
forgot she existed.
Yeah, me too. And the only reason Charlotte is still involved in this match is because they want to put this Mania match with Ronda being a face, not a heel. So that's why they're throwing Charlotte in there so she can get all the heat.
I
get that, and that's why I think. And Charlotte's a great worker. I still think they're gonna headline with these three, and it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I mean, the original plan was always to be Charlotte versus Ronda anyway, right?
Yep.
Becky just made her way into it, which I'm glad she did.
I just think, I mean, I was never against a triple threat match, but the more I think about it, the more of an own goal it appears to be, because Ronda versus Becky is the match that people want to see. Charlotte's involvement has legitimately angered people. And I don't know, from my personal perspective, and it's just my personal perspective, and this is I'm a defender of the triple threat match. I'm just like, you know what? I'm no longer interested. I really wish I was interested in this match, but they've just killed it for me. They killed it dead. Hopefully it gets resuscitated, but I'm sorry. I really didn't want to say that, but it's just how I feel.
I'm still looking forward to it.
I'm glad you are. I don't mean that in a patronising way either. I'm genuinely glad that people are still looking forward to it, but I just feel it's an own goal. So, speaking of things getting killed, here came the toilet break match. Braun Strowman lost to Baron Corbin due to Baron's ministry of beefness. McIntyre and Lashley coming out and interfering. What was better, the toilet break or the match? I think I went for a toilet break. I can't remember much about this match, but you know.
Yeah, this was the dud. I don't recall much of this either, and I know I watched it, but I really struggled to recall apart from Drew and Bobby coming out. It's a bit of a funny one. This should have been on the pre-show instead of the cruiserweight match.
Yeah, I think you're right. Chen?
Seriously, guys, this was a toilet break? Fuck off, alright? Anything with Baron Corbin in it is just must watch for me. All right, I loved it.
course you
Honestly,
did.
I think with Braun Strowman, his hype is all gone now. It's so funny. Last year, I thought he should have been the main event of WrestleMania, but he was wasting that stupid Nicholas angle.
It
Now
was a
I'm just
great
like,
angle.
what's I'm just like, what's there? What is there for Braun Strowman now? Really, nothing. I'm glad, he got the beat down that. Because honestly, if Braun was to win, I wouldn't even care. To be honest, it would have gone nowhere. With Corbin being a heel, this just adds more heat on him, especially
Nah,
with McIntyre and Lashley coming out.
I don't think it adds anything to anyone. I think the problem is not the two men involved. I think, if I'm being really honest, even though I called it the toilet break match, I don't think it was that bad of a match. I think they had some fun spots. I think the steel steps and the two table setup was pretty cool, and using the Shield triple power bomb was interesting. I'm bored of seeing the four men in the same feud over and over again. I don't understand why Drew McIntyre, who I assume they still want to push, is caught up in this being a sidekick to Baron Corbin. It's just that's just pants.
It's a bit fun. I mean, we were joking. I was watching a bit of like, it's big boys club in the ring at the moment. They've got all the big beefy guys in the ring for Vince to enjoy. I wonder if they're going to try and get Drew and are we still going to get like Drew and Braun at Mania maybe? But you're right. Drew made a big thing about I'm a man standing on my own about Bobby Lashley, and now I'm Baron Corbin's bitch, which is not really where you thought he was going to go.
I just think it's not any. Like, I think Strowman is good. I think he's just been exposed over the past few months. Corbin is a great heat magnet. There's no two ways of denying it, and I think that is legit. Actual heat, not go away heat. I think Drew McIntyre is a very good wrestler. Bobby Lashley, he's fine. It's just there is no progression.
They might as well just throw Jinder in there to get more heat.
You've literally flattened them out with 50-50 booking that nobody cares about this match. Remember, 2 months ago, this match, Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin, was going to be a TLC match, and that was probably going to main event WWE TLC 2018, not the women's triple threat. People forget that. I don't
think it was ever going to main event now.
I think it was. I think it was.
That for a second.
I think it was. Oh no, they weren't that high on Becky. They weren't that high on Becky at the time. Now Vince McMahon is. Apparently she's a golden girl now. But anyway, that's a sidetrack. That match could have main evented TLC. That's the point. And now we're talking about maybe that should have been on the pre-show. So, anyway, from something that is a toilet break match to something that could have been and gone during a toilet break. Here are my 4 words, gentlemen. Then Lacey Evans appeared.
Yeah, I missed this because I actually was going to the loo and I came back and I was like, what did I miss? Oh, Lacey Evans came out and then she went back. Okay. Yep. Okay.
She did a strut and then she walked away. Apparently on Twitter, she defended this by saying, this pay-per-view doesn't deserve me. I'm like, yeah, you good try explaining that crap away. So yeah, I don't really want to talk too much about that, but rubbish. So, lastly, we saw Daniel Bryan, with new entrants and graphics and all, successfully defend the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Kofi Kingston, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Jeff Hardy, and Samoa Joe. But the real headline here is Kofi's magnificent performance. In 5 days, he had people believing that this was his time. Unfortunately, it wasn't the case, but in a truly touching moment after his defeat, Big E and Xavier Woods showed up and commiserated the veteran in what was a powerful moment. Is this the best final 2 we have ever seen in an Elimination Chamber match?
I have to say yes.
Better than Shawn Michaels' Triple H in 2002.
I'd have to go back and re-watch that one. It's been a while. That's the only thing I could think of in terms of what would come close.
Daniel Bryan, Santino Marella. I'm not joking.
Maybe not.
I'm not joking.
I'm thinking like the original Chamber and the final 2 would have been up there, but I think just watching these two go was amazing. I mean, we talked about it the other week. I don't have many chambers I'm a big fan of, and I struggled to pick my favorites. This would be my favorite chamber match of all time.
Chen?
I wouldn't say it was my favorite chamber match, but my God, the storytelling, especially on Kofi's part, was so amazing. Like you actually thought maybe he could win. Like everyone at the meetup event especially thought, oh my God, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. But yeah, I thought it was his performance was really great. Originally, when Mustafa Ali got injured, I was gutted and I thought, oh, put Andradas in there. And then when they said Kofi, I was like, what? Kofi? Wouldn't it be better to put Big E? But yeah, Kofi, he proved me wrong, especially in that gauntlet match to begin with. And, Kofi's always been super talented. And, it showed that his storytelling in this match was how good he is with the psychology as well.
Yeah, I think it's 11 years in the making is what he said on SmackDown, and it kind of really felt like that. And so my view of this Elimination Chamber is dampened slightly, not because of the participants in it or the effort put into the storytelling. Unfortunately, I came across a spoiler on Sky Sports News, which said, this is on the news channel, at the bottom right-hand corner it said trending stories, and number 8 was WWE. 3 new champions at Elimination Chamber. Now, one of them would be the women's tag match, but as soon as the Intercontinental and tag team match changed hands, I knew Bryan was retaining. But here's a sign of how good this match is. Here's a sign of how good this match is. I ended up believing Kofi Kingston could win, even though I knew Daniel Bryan could win. That's how good of a storyteller he is.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it was a... I think the one thing I had, my one negative, I think you've got a negative because of Sky Sports ruining the match, I guess. Mine only real negative was Samoa Joe. Once again, they build a lot out of Joe. He's a great talker. He looks like a badass. And as I feared, he was the first one to take a pin and be taken out of this match.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I just thought the Samoa Joe thing was actually a bit weak. He should have been in it for a little longer. I thought Jeff Hardy or Randy Orton could have gone first, and that would have been better. But yeah, I think there were some incredible spots outside of that. Kofi Kingston doing the backward dive, I think, onto Joe and Styles. I can't remember.
Well, he pretty much dropped from the top of the chamber.
Yeah.
What about Jeff Hardy's swanton?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Hardy's
it was funny though. I was watching it and I thought, Jeff, okay, you've done your big move. You can leave now, and it pretty much happened right away.
Yeah, pretty much. I thought this was a really good match. I need to rewatch it just because there's certain stuff that I know I missed, but I thought the end, I just thought the final two was so brilliant. It kind of overshadowed in a good way, overshadowed what was in the rest of the match. Going back to one of your points, Jason, saying it's your favorite Elimination Chamber, I have to agree with Chen. I don't think it's there for me, but if I had to give this a star rating, I'll give it 4.25.
Yeah, it's easily a 4-star match, if not higher for me.
If the women's is a 4-star match for you, surely this is 4.5.
Well, I said the women's was nudging 4, and I wasn't sure if I was going to put it there or not. But this is definitely 4, like you say, 4.25, definitely in that range.
Yeah, it was really good fun. I had a blast watching this match, and I really want to rewatch this one.
And I think going back to your point, like Chen, you said, like everyone was getting into it. I thought Kofi, at the start, I thought there's no way he's doing this. And by the end of it, I, along with about 30 people, was cheering on Kofi, and we thought this could actually happen. They'll probably take it off him quickly, like at Fastlane, but they could actually give him the belt here, and this could happen because it was such a strong final 12 minutes between those two.
Yeah, because as I was saying, like I said to you yesterday as well, like on the road to WrestleMania, the main titles aren't swapping hands. But then, watching yesterday's match, you actually thought maybe Kofi could win. So kudos to him for telling a great story, him and Bryan, when it came to the final two, them two being the final two.
I think what the shocking thing is that they really trusted him to take over Mustafa Ali's spot, because that would have been Mustafa Ali
Well, I wonder how much they changed this because I can't imagine they would have given Mustafa Ali. Would they have given Mustafa Ali this much of
I
a
think they would
push?
have.
I'm trying to
I
work
think
out
they would have.
if they rebooked it or they literally slotted him in.
I think they changed it for
I'd-
Kofi's sake, especially after the Gauntlet match.
No, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard because I think because Ali's pinned the WWE champion before, I think that's probably why I'm thinking. And apparently Vince McMahon loves Mustafa Ali. I think there could have been a Bryan versus Ali match at Fastlane. But yeah, I just think I just think it would have been interesting to see how that would have played out. But yeah, Kofi, MVP, definitely, without a question. And Bryan is a close second because, he's on the other half telling that story too.
So
Yeah.
just a couple of notes on this. I really noticed during this match, Daniel Bryan, when he started wrestling again, he was smaller than he was at his peak. Does he still look a bit smaller than he was to you? I just look at him and think, okay, he was never a big guy, but he's noticeably to me just a few pounds lighter in terms of like muscle and just overall size.
No, I don't know.
So that's just me on that one. And then did you notice Randy Orton's got a few extra pounds around his stomach at the moment? where
Yeah.
he's-
I mean, I don't want to. Yeah, he's kind of lost his six pack.
I mean, he's still in great
Um,
shape. I mean, I still
Yeah,
wish
he's
I
still in
could look
amazing
like that.
shape. I
But,
wish
you
I looked
know,
like him.
What? I don't really pay too much attention unless it's supremely visible. I don't really care, to be honest.
it just seemed noticeable to me when I was watching. I'd never noticed it before. I was like, oh, because no, Randy said like he hates having to stay in that kind of shape and he wishes he could change his ring gear. And I was like, oh, you're getting a bit older. You're not wrestling as much. He's still. I mean, it wasn't like he was like completely out of shape.
I would love to see. I would love to see Randy Orton become like the size of Kevin Owens to see what happens. He would enjoy it as well. I would love to see Fat Randy, just so I could chant Fat Randy at him. And also made me feel better about myself. But yeah, I don't really pay too much attention.
Yeah, I just wonder if it's just me. I mean, I didn't really notice it before.
I
mean,
I will say this: if any one person, speaking of Randy, I think Randy was, apart from that RKO spot on AJ Styles, which is really really good. I kind of thought to myself, I wish that was Andrade.
Yeah, I mean, Randy Orton, like I said, he gets in there, he does what he needs to do. He's not going to surprise you or amaze you. He's just solid. Andrade would have been a lot more interesting.
I don't have anything against Randy Orton. I think people like to shit on him way too much. I think his feud with Jeff Hardy going back when was great, but yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to see someone a bit more fresh. I had the same issue with Jeff Hardy, but then Jeff Hardy did the Swanton. I was like, yeah, I'll take it all back. I take it all back. I thought I wanted you retired, but no, Jeff can still go. That was a sick Swanton.
I totally understand. You want the new guys to have more of a chance to shine on the main event. It's understandable.
Yeah, it's a balance of using veterans in the main event to get other people over, but also you kind of want new faces in the main event full stop. So I think on the SmackDown side, they found that balance a bit better than on Raw. So
It's way better.
yeah, they've used Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy quite effectively on SmackDown. So it's a minor quibble in what was a really fun match. So to wrap this up, guys, as usual, what is your grade for the show? Who's your MVP? And what was your match of the night?
I'll go first.
Yep.
I'll give it a B
Mhm.
plus.
Yep.
My MVPs are either Sonya Deville or Kofi Kingston.
Okay, fair enough. Jason?
Yeah, I'm probably going B plus for this, and the main event was the match of the night for me with Kofi being MVP. But the women's match was close behind this, and with Sonya and the Iconics doing very well in that.
So I liked both both Elimination Chamber matches. I really liked the pre-show match. On that basis alone, I'm giving this a B minus. I think that was enough to carry some of the mediocrity in between the two chambers. My MVP obviously has to go to Kofi Kingston, and I think my match of the night, I really want to see the Cruiserweight Championship match because it is really good, and I recommend people should check it out. But I do have to go for the Elimination Chamber just for the last 11 minutes between Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan. I'm not sure if it's 10, 11 minutes, but what those two did was absolutely fantastic. So that wraps up our Elimination Chamber review. Up next is our weekly segment called The Ring of Dishonor. I got that right.
Hey you! If you like the podcast, then remember to like the Holy Shoot Wrestling Podcast on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Holy Shoot Pod. Do it! Do it now!
The Ring of Dishonor.
Lastly, it's the return of a weekly segment to close the show, The Ring of Dishonor. For those who haven't joined us on the pod before, it's like Room 101, but wrestling in an audio format. Each week, one of us will nominate something that they would like to see enter the Ring of Dishonor. The other two people on the podcast will decide if it is worthy, or shall we say unworthy enough, to enter the Ring of Dishonor. So, Jason, is a wheel fixed?
It's kind of fixed, but it's not going to make any noise.
Okay. Well, just imagine there's a wheel, ladies and gentlemen, that makes noise, but you know. So, Jason, I need you to spin that wheel to see whether myself or yourself have something to submit this week.
All right, 1 sec. Let me just cue. All right, I'm going to spin it now. Let's see what happens. And the winner is me.
Just a side note for the new listener, for those new to new to our show, Chen is not eligible this week as he put something in last week. So, Jason.
So I'm going to put one in just because it annoys me. So I think I'm on record. I'm not a big fan of the more hardcore matches anyway, but there's one weapon in particular that annoys me, and that's the kendo stick. So we act like the kendo stick is a brutal weapon, and it's now like the default weapon. It's like the weapon of choice now that people are having to find under the wrestling ring. Why there are fake like bamboo swords under the wrestling ring, I'm not quite sure, but it's amazing that they must be used in construction of the ring somehow. So those are always turning up. But the whole point of a kendo stick is that it's a safe weapon to use. It's a practice sword, and when it hits you, it actually fans out, so the 4 panels spread out, spreading the actual impact, so that they don't actually hurt you very much. They can leave nasty looking welts, but it's such a stupid thing that they don't hurt. And it must be more for me that watches it and goes, this is like the safest weapon apart from the tinfoil trash cans to hit someone with. So it annoys me that they've become the weapon of choice. I'd rather they didn't use weapons, or at least come up with 2x4s or something, because it just annoys me every time I see someone selling that thing, because it just looks stupid. That would be my entry this week. Kendo sticks.
Shall I go first?
Do it.
So I love the kendo sticks. I like the sound they make when they hit against someone's flesh. I see no problem with it. I think it can be used in many creative ways, and hence why I have no issues with it. I do agree they can break easily, but they can still do a lot of damage and leave marks on people's flesh.
Yeah, I think it's naive to say kendo sticks don't hurt. I mean, when people practice it, they use armor. So, I don't think they don't hurt. Honestly, I don't really have an issue with the kendo stick, so...
Would you rather they used kendo sticks, or say gimmicked baseball bats, or 2x4s, things you're more likely just to find in an arena than a Japanese sword?
Why would you find a baseball bat in
in
a basketball arena? Like,
mainly because lots of Americans play it, and you can buy a baseball bat
but you wouldn't find that
any road in America.
You would find it in any road in America, therefore it must be under a ring.
Oh, no,
I'm
saying that,
by that logic, all
no,
weapons under the ring are stupid. Everything under the ring is stupid.
It is.
So what do you think of Triple H's sledgehammer?
See, that is slightly different because he clearly
Why is that different?
He places it there as a signature weapon. wrestlers look for something and they find kendo sticks. If they found a 2x4, it would make more sense.
Yeah, honestly, I think you're clutching at straws, or kendo sticks. That didn't really work, but yeah, I don't know. No, I'm not really buying into your argument.
Yeah, and the whole baseball thing, that's just a Sting gimmick. No other wrestler should really use that. And kendo sticks are perfectly fine, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But like I said, it depends how creative you are with the weapon.
So what do you think of like road signs under the ring whenever they're used? Because that or some trays or whatever. Like, are they just as dumb?
I could have expanded to include all the other items, but it was kendo sticks in particular.
Yeah. Well, I think if we should have like a predictions punishment, loser gets hit by a kendo stick, just to see how much it would hurt. Jason, like,
where are you gonna find one? Just like randomly under the ring, or like at your
funny
office?
enough, Jason, there's one under my bed right now. Like,
You're revealing way too much about your personal life.
Yeah, most single men have other things stashed under the bed. Me, just kendo sticks. Anyway, fucking hell. Wow, I didn't expect that to go off topic. So, Chen, do you want to get judged on the voting, or do you have anything additional to say?
No, I have nothing else to say. So, and I vote that kendo sticks stay. I love them.
Kendo sticks are not entering the ring in Dishonor, Jason. I'm sorry.
Well, I figured you guys wouldn't have any taste. Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, I got to defend Charlotte Flair's new boyfriend, Ken. So, SmackDown reference. Oh shit. Anyway, there you have it. That is the latest thing.
I need to add a tumbleweed effect. Just like rolling along through that moment.
Yeah. I don't know. Hopefully someone laughed. If you did laugh, let us know. Holy Shoot Pod. Anyway, that's it for another week. Next week, join us for more build to the road to WrestleMania. But that's all from us here at Holy Shoot. We hope you enjoy the show. And remember to subscribe to us on all good podcast outlets and give us some follow on Twitter at Holy Shoot Pod and like us on Facebook. Now, that's the bottom line because this pod said so. Burn out, down.